the sunset, bills on my mindset, I can't deny it. Getting higher than my ink.
When it comes to playing the game of Civic Mirror, there are a few rules you need to follow. Number 1, don't trust anybody. Everyone is after you and they will screw you over at one point. Number 2, don't spend your money, especially at the hex auction where people tend to go a little crazy. Unless you're going to get something that's going to make you a profit in the long run, I would suggest saving it. Because, you do got taxes to pay. Number 3, keep your hidden agenda in mind. That is what's going to get you further in this game. But you got to remember not to tell anybody what your hidden agenda is. Well, throughout this experience of Civic Mirror, I've learned a few things. One is that our government really doesn't function as well as we think it does. There are so many people involved with it that it's just a big mess, and there's some people that don't really pay attention to the kind of things that they're talking about. Another thing that I learned is you don't always get what you want. So just because you submit a law or anything doesn't mean it'll get passed. Another thing is that people tend to blame the president for everything, and especially when it came down to whether or not their laws got passed. But what they didn't realize is that sometimes that their laws don't even get to the president if the Senate and the House of Representatives don't all agree on it. Something that really ticked me off in this game was when Jared Taha had the nerve to steal everything from the government. I applaud him for keeping his hidden agenda in mind and doing what he had to do, but he could have been a little sneakier. He let himself into a situation where he basically corrupted the entire government, and all of us were being blamed for it by the citizens. In the end, we did impeach him, but it took a while for us to really get the government back to a stable place. Things that this made me realize is just how important providing your family with your necessities is, because um, they can eventually die if you don't. But it also leads to how selfish some people can be with supplying you with those necessities and how much they can hold back with your food and education. But that means that just shows like how important having a contract is with people when you're trying to get that, because at the end they can't screw you over and you get nothing. For example, the John versus Fidel case, when John took everything from Fidel, but when they took it to court, Fidel didn't have a contract, so he couldn't do anything about it. So the more you were involved in the government and the more you put yourself out there and took risks, the better off you were in this game. Unlike the people who really just sat back and didn't spend their money on much, in the end they were left with nothing. Me, on the other hand, I ended up being the citizen with the most money, and that was contributed to everything that I took a part in and everything that I did for myself. But I really just learned that our government and our society isn't really simple. There are a lot of problems going on that people aren't really like fixing, but at the end of the day, people are just selfish and all they want is to benefit themselves. So by benefiting themselves, they aren't really doing anything to help other people.